One of the most important things when it comes to having a rental property is having positive cash flow. And in order to maximize your cash flow on a rental property, what you want to do is when you have a tenant changeover, you want to try to get the maximum amount of rent possible. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 things that you can do when one tenant leaves and a new one comes in order to be able to maximize your revenue. The first thing you want to do in order to maximize revenue on your rents is you want to do a thorough inspection of the property. This would include checking out the exterior of the property to see if there's any repairs or upgrades that need to take place. It's also important to check the inside of the property to make sure you understand what the state of the unit you're going to be renting out is. Does it need a major cleaning? Are there repairs that need to take place inside of the unit? All of that needs to be assessed so you can kind of put together a plan to figure out what you want to do to get that property on the market as soon as possible. The second thing you want to do is take care of any essential repairs or upgrades to the unit or to the house in general. It's important that you repair anything like appliances or fix any plumbing issues that if a tenant was coming through the unit, that it would be a turnoff for them if those things weren't taken care of. For instance, in this unit here, we've got a broken handle on the refrigerator. Although it might seem like a minor repair, it is something that's necessary to fix before the next tenant comes through. Where I'm standing right now is the entrance to the basement apartment that we're trying to rent out. And as you can see here, there's some minor repairs that need to be taken care of. It's a simple fix to take care of this, and then I would repaint this entire area to make it fresh and new so we can get the highest possible rents in this unit. Another upgrade that I always like to do when possible is upgrade the lighting in the unit. Now, I don't necessarily upgrade lighting fixtures, but I always want to upgrade the bulbs in the unit. For instance, LED lighting has become very popular, so it's always nice to take out old fluorescent fixtures and replace those with LED lights whenever possible. Another simple and easy upgrade is to change out any old faucets in your bathrooms or your kitchens. These can date a property very quickly, so changing them out with a new fixture always adds value to a potential rental. One of the other important items that you want to consider is curb appeal. When your potential tenants come to view your property, the first thing they're going to see is the front of the house. So anytime you can increase the perceived value of the property by taking care of any landscaping or just cleaning up the property in general, that's always going to help you get higher rents. Another couple items related to curb appeal can be changing out your house numbers or just upgrading the front light at the property to make sure that it looks fresh and new. Step number 3 is evaluating the market. It's important to understand what your potential rents can be now that your tenants have left and you've got new tenants coming in. One of the mistakes I see novice landlords make is that they assume that what the property is being rented for now is what it should be rented for with a new tenant. In a lot of cases, you can see a large increase in your rental rates because your tenants may have been there for a couple of years. And in some provinces, it's your only opportunity as a landlord to raise the rents above what's regulated by the government in terms of your year-over-year increase on your rent. When you're trying to figure out what you should be charging for rent in a unit, it's best to look at comparable properties in your neighborhood. You want to look at the number of bedrooms and bathrooms that you have. Also, what other features does your property have in comparison to other properties that are on the market? Another couple factors that you want to consider are what is the square footage of the unit and what does your rent include and exclude when it comes to utilities and anything like cable and internet. Number 4 is a deep cleaning of the property. Not only do we want to take a look at what's inside of the unit, but we want to also take into consideration any common spaces that a potential tenant would have to enter to get through to the suite. Another item that you may want to consider is trying to declutter or organize your tenant's space. Now, this can be difficult if they don't want you to move things around, but if at all possible, if you can take away as many of their personal belongings and move them to another area, it's great for showings. And the 5th step to maximizing rents on a tenant changeover is marketing and showcasing your property. If you don't already have them, I would hire a professional photographer to come in and capture really good quality photos of the rental unit and the property itself. Although this is going to cost you a couple $100s, this is the best money you will spend because this will help you get a higher potential rent for your unit. When it comes to staging, the thought process has changed a little bit. We used to stage properties to try to get the maximum amount of rent. Now the best thing to do is to get photos of the property when it's completely empty. And then with these virtual staging apps, you can add furniture that's modern and relevant for that time. If the trends change, you can always go back to your blank photos and you can virtually stage it in a different format. When it comes to writing descriptions for your property, this has also changed. The idea in the past is that we used to want to create an experience for our tenants through the description of the property. We used to write descriptions that were flowery and long and would explain what it would feel like to live in a specific space. Now, people's attention span is next to nothing, so we want to point form everything and really just point out the highlights and anything that's relevant for that specific unit. And lastly, you want to get the word out to as many people as possible. I would encourage you to advertise on as many platforms as possible without breaking the bank on advertising dollars spent. This is also something that changes with the times. A few years ago, we used to advertise on Craigslist and Kijiji, and now it's almost exclusively Facebook Marketplace. One of the other things I'm seeing more and more all the time is that people are choosing to advertise with a realtor in order to rent out their space. Although the realtor will charge you 1 month's commission on a 12-month lease, they can handle a lot of the process of getting a new tenant and screening them for you. Remember, the more time and energy you put into these items beforehand will give you the highest return on your investment in the long run. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more valuable content. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram where I post regularly. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday.